Vibhavari Shesha Haloka Provesha Nidratadi Uta Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Narasimha Vamana Srimadusudana Brajendra Nandana Shama Putana Gatana Kaita Bashatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Yashoda Dulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhora Ravanata Kara Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Brajera Rakala Gopa Vrindapalo Chitahari Vamsidhari Yogindra Bandhana Srinandanandana Brajajana Bhayahari Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Bhamsi Bihari Yashodanandana Kamsa Nishudana Nikunjara Savilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrinda Vipina Nivasi Ananda Vardhana Premani Ketana Pulasharayo Jakakana Gopangana Gana Chitta Vinodhana Samasta Guna Gana Dhamma Yamuna Jivana Kili Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Namashuraras Ko Krishnayas Rako Vachanamana Mohora Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balabha Giridharidhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta Praeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter number 18, entitled Prayers Offered by the Residents of Jambudvip to the Supreme Lord. Text number 4. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayas Manashvaram Vadanti Vishwam Kavayas Manashvaram Pashyanti chadyatma vido vipaschita. Pashyanti chadyatma vido vipaschita. Tatapi muyanti tavaja mayaya. Tatapi muyanti tavaja mayaya. Suvishmita krityam ajamnato smitam. Suvishmitam krityam ajamnato smitam. Vedanti vishvam kavayasmanashvaram. Pashyanti chadatma vido vipaschita. Tatapi muyanti tavaja mayaya. Suvishmitam krityam ajamnato smitam. Jen? Vedanti vishvam kavayasmanashvaram. Pashyanti chadyatma vido vipaschita. Tatapi muyanti tavaja mayaya. Suvishmitam krityam ajamnato smitam. Vadanti vishvam kavayasmanashvaram. Pashyanti chadatma vido vipaschita. Tatapi muyanti tavaja mayaya. Suvishmitam krityam ajamnato smitam. Vadanti, they say authoritatively. Vishwam, the entire material creation. Kavaya, great learned sages. Sma, certainly. Nashvaram, perishable. Pashyanti, they see in trance. Cha, also. Adhyatma Vida, who have realized spiritual knowledge. Vipaschita, very learned scholars. Tata api, still. Muyanti, become illusioned. Tava, you. Aja, O unborn one. Mayaya, by the illusory energy. Suvishmitam, most wonderful. Krityam, activity. Ajam, unto the supreme unborn one. Nata asmi, I offer my obeisances. Tam, unto him. Translation, O unborn one, learned Vedic scholars who are advanced in spiritual knowledge certainly know that this material world is perishable as do other logicians and philosophers. In trance, they realize the factual position of this world, and they preach the truth as well. Yet, even they are sometimes bewildered by your illusory energy. This is your own wonderful pastime. Therefore, I can understand that your illusory energy is very wonderful, and I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Not only does the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead act on the conditioned soul within this material world, but sometimes it also acts on the most advanced, learned scholars who factually know the constitutional position of this material world through realization. As soon as someone thinks, I am this material body, aham mamiti, and everything in relation with this material body is mine, he is in illusion, moha. This illusion caused by the material energy acts especially on the conditioned souls, but it sometimes also acts on liberated souls as well. A liberated soul is a person who has sufficient knowledge of this material world and is therefore unattached to the bodily conception of life. But because of association with the modes of material nature for a very long time, even liberated souls sometimes become captivated by the illusory energy due to inattentiveness in the transcendental position. Therefore, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7:14, Mam eva ye prapajante mayamitam tarantite. Only those who surrender unto me can overcome the influence of the material energy. Therefore, no one should think of himself as a liberated person immune to the influence of Maya. Everyone should cautiously execute devotional service by rigidly following regulative principles. Thus he will remain fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. Otherwise, a little inattention will create havoc. We have already seen an example of this in the case of Maharaj Bharat. Maharaj Bharat was undoubtedly a great devotee, but because he turned his attention slightly towards a small deer, he had to suffer 2 more births, one as a deer and another as the Brahmana Jadbharat. Afterwards he was liberated and went back home, back to Godhead. The Lord is always prepared to excuse his devotee. But if a devotee takes advantage of the Lord's leniency and purposefully commits mistakes again and again, the Lord will certainly punish him by letting him fall down into the clutches of the illusory energy. In other words, theoretical knowledge acquired by studying the Vedas is insufficient to protect one from the clutches of Maya. One must strongly adhere to the lotus feet of the Lord in devotional service. Then one's position is secure. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksuran Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Vanchakalpa Terubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare. So we're hearing the prayers offered by the residents of Bhadrashvarsha. The ruler was a person called Bhadrashrava, who was the son of Yamaraj. And this is to him. And Lord Shiva is in Ilavritavarsha. And so this Bhadrashvarsha, this is a different region of Jambudweep, which is in Bhuloka. So here, Bhadrashrava and his followers are describing how dangerous, how precarious it is in the material world. That a little inattention and you can get a big problem. Prabhupada gives the example about shaving with the razor, that a little carelessness with the razor and you cut yourself. And you know, when you cut the face, it doesn't stop bleeding very easily. You know, it's a lot of trouble, right? When you cut yourself. So the same way, if we're inattentive in our devotional service, and we fall under the influence of Maya, then it's very hard to get back up, to pick ourselves back up, and to situate ourselves in proper consciousness. So we have it's a warning to all of us. It helps us to understand how powerful the material energy is. Right? Devi hi esha guna mai mama maya duratyaya. Krishna said mama maya, my maya. This material energy is Krishna's maya. So it's very powerful. And even great scholars, Vedic scholars, who have realized the conclusion of the scriptures, even they can sometimes fall down. They can be inattentive and they can fall into the clutches of Maya. So anyone can fall down, and Prabhupada in the purport gives the example about Bharat Maharaj, who had renounced so much. He had been a king, an emperor, he'd given up everything, he left his family and everything, gone off to the Himalayas. But nature, by the will of nature, it happened that he became attached to a deer, became attached to an animal, and he had to take birth in next life as a deer. So it's a warning to all of us how careful we have to be in dealing with the material energy. The material energy is Krishna's energy, and it can bewilder us. We can easily become attached to this material world. And certainly it happens. We have seen in the history of our Krishna consciousness movement how there were so many stalwart devotees, and one after another they got into some kind of difficulties. So it's a rare soul. It's not easy. We have to hold on to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And the way in which we hold on to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is by always engaging ourselves in Krishna's service, particularly hearing and chanting. One time there was this one devotee, he was a sannyasi, and he was building a temple for Srila Prabhupada. And the devotees told Srila Prabhupada, they said, Srila Prabhupada, this devotee, he said he doesn't have time to chant his rounds because he's so busy building the temple, managing the affairs, the construction. So he said he doesn't have time to chant his rounds. So Srila Prabhupada said, then it is just a question of time before he will fall down. And so it happened. in course of time that sannyasi gave up Krishna consciousness and went off. So material energy is so powerful. If we neglect the important activities like the morning program, the regular program of hearing and chanting, then we're risking our spiritual life. And so we have to be very careful with this. One time, Srila Prabhupada was not well, and the devotee said to Srila Prabhupada, he said, Srila Prabhupada, you're not well. He said, you don't have to give class. He said, let one of us give the class. But Prabhupada said to the devotee, he said, if I don't give the class, then you will think it's all right for you not to give the class when you're sick. So Prabhupada would say how he wanted devotees to be very steadfast in their duties and be very careful to follow the regulated program which we have. Just like Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami came to join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was coming from a very wealthy family. His father and his uncle were maintaining all of the brahmanas in Bengal. They were giving charity to them, to maintain them. They were so rich. And Raghunath had a beautiful wife and everything, but he left it all to join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So he asked, Lord Chaitanya put him in the care of Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar was the secretary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Raghunath, he never actually spoke to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he wanted something or if he wanted to know something, he would ask Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar was the secretary, and he would ask Lord Chaitanya. So Raghunath asked Swarup Damodar, he said, what are Lord Chaitanya's instructions for me? So Swarup Damodar came and asked Lord Chaitanya about Raghunath, that Raghunath wants to know any instructions for him. What is his duty? So Lord Chaitanya told him, he said, he should never talk worldly things, and he should never hear mundane things from the common people. He should not dress luxuriously, and he should not eat opulently. And he should keep always Radha and Krishna in his heart, and constantly chant the holy name. So like this, Lord Chaitanya gave these instructions to Raghunath Das Goswami. And it said, of course, Lord Chaitanya, he disappeared. And when he disappeared in Jagannath Puri, then Raghunath left Jagannath Puri and he went to Vrindavan. And ultimately he stayed at Radhakund. And he was staying there, but he was very strict. It said he followed the regulative principles like lines on a stone. You know, lines on a stone, they don't change. You know, they're very firm, very steady. So Raghunath, his practice of the regulative principles was like that. They're very steady, like lines on a stone. So Prabhupada, we can see here, Srimad Bhagavatam is warning all of us how careful we have to be in dealing with the material energy. Srila Prabhupada said one time, he said, problem with my disciples is, he said, they're not afraid enough of Maya. And another time he said, my disciples are just like coal. He said, no matter how hard you wash it, it's always black. You know? So like that. So he was warning us how we have to be so cautious in working to become Krishna conscious. So the illusory energy of the Lord is very, very powerful, and it can bewilder even great souls. Here they're talking about Vedic scholars who are self-realized, liberated souls. But even liberated souls can fall down. Liberated soul is described, Ihayasya haredashe karmana manasagira nikilas papiyavastastu jivan mukta sa uchate. A jivan mukta, a liberated soul, is one who engages his body, mind and words in the service of Krishna. So we can be liberated in this lifetime. We don't have to wait to get out of the material body to be liberated. We can be liberated now by using body, mind and words all in the service of Lord Krishna. But even the liberated souls can become bewildered by the material energy. And we see the example how even Lord Brahma became bewildered. That Lord Brahma became attracted to his own daughter. And that created some problem, because other people who saw him, they thought, oh, look at this, Lord Brahma, he's our senior most in the universe, and he's lusty after his own daughter. Of course, Lord Brahma then gave up his body, he gave up that body, but still the example was there, that he became attracted to his own daughter. And Lord Shiva also became attracted to Mohini Murti. Lord Shiva wanted to understand the power of Lord Krishna's Maya. So Krishna said, oh really, you want to So Krishna, then it happened, Mohini Murti appeared. And when Mohini Murti appeared, Lord Shiva became mad after her. Although Lord Shiva is Dhira, he is Dhira. The Prabhupada quotes some Sanskrit drama that Lord Shiva is a Dhira. Dhira means very sober, very fixed. That he was so fixed he could be undisturbed in the presence of even beautiful women. But when the Lord took the form of Mohini Murti, Shiva became mad after her. And he raced after her. He was chasing her everywhere. And Mohini Murti went to the place where great sages were meditating. And they all saw Lord Shiva running after this woman. So this is the pastimes of the Lord, that even great souls like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma can be bewildered by Lord Krishna's illusory potency. So what to speak of little souls like ourselves, what hope do we have? Our only hope is to hold on tightly to the previous acharyas and hold on to Lord Krishna. And the manner in which we hold on is by fully engaging in hearing and chanting, just keeping ourselves always busy in the service of Krishna. And then nobody can Maya cannot touch us. If we're always engaged in Krishna's service, then there's no time for Maya. Just like Jayananda Prabhu, Jayananda Thakur, the first saint in ISKCON, the Jayananda Thakur, he was always busy in the service of Krishna. In the daytime he had a job driving a taxi. He was the temple president in San Francisco, and he would do so many menial services. He'd be cleaning the temple, he would go to the market and get donations from people in the market. Everybody knew him, they all loved him, and they would give so many donations for him, for the temple. And so somebody asked him, what about, are you not worried about Maya? Are you not worried about the material? He said, I'm too busy to think about it. So there's the secret. If we're always very, very busy in Krishna's service, then we have no time to contemplate the material world. And so they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's a common saying. So idle mind, the mind is not properly engaged. And so then the devil enters into the mind and starts to control us, and we have to cultivate all kinds of material desires. So the key is to keep the mind always engaged and keep ourselves always busy in Krishna consciousness. And this is why Srila Prabhupada arranged our morning program, and he wrote so many books, and he gave us so many different things to do, just to keep us all busy in Krishna's service, to keep us always engaged in Krishna consciousness. Then Maya cannot touch you. So, as soon as you stop, then you're in trouble. We can get in trouble. We had this one devotee. He was a brahmachari. I used to do Sankirtan with him. He used to be a boxer, And he told me, he said, when you're in the ring, important thing is to keep your guard up. You keep your hands up over your face, You see, they fight like that, they fight like that. They always have that. But as soon as you drop your hands, you get hit in the face, you get smashed in the face. And so material energy is like that, If you drop your guard, if you're not on guard, if you're not attentive, then Maya will get you. As soon a little inattention, Maya will come and take us and get us. And very easily it happens. And so, and often we don't even realize it. We're not even aware. A little inattention. So that is the danger. So we have to always be attentive. We have to always, our presence, and we have to have some presence. It means you're thinking about what you're doing. You're conscious. You're not just sitting, dreaming, daydreaming, But we feel we have a state of presence. You have to feel present. Like when we chant the holy name, it's important for us to have that presence, to hear the holy name. Otherwise, it just becomes mechanical. If we don't do it properly, it's just some vibration. But in our mind, we're thinking something else. We're not hearing the holy name. In the mind, we're thinking about so many things. What's for breakfast, What am I going to do today? Where am I going? And so many thoughts in the mind. But we have to put our presence into the holy name to be, now I'm chanting the holy name. We have to hear the holy name. We have to listen. Prabhupada said, use the tongue to chant and the ears to hear. It's not a question of the mind. Some people will say, what to do with the mind? He said, not a question of the mind. You use your tongue and your ears. And that's how to chant properly. And so we have to learn to do things like that. Keep ourselves always busy in the service of Krishna. And then Maya cannot touch us. So this prayer offered here by these devotees in Bhadrasena Varsha, that they understand the power of the Lord's illusory energy, and they're offering their obeisances to the Lord. And they're saying, your illusory energy is very wonderful. And yet this is a problem. We think it's very wonderful. We become captivated by the illusory energy. Yeah, it is wonderful because it's Krishna's energy. We have to understand the nature of the material world, that this is all Krishna's energy. And it's there for us to use. We want to use it, to use the material energy in Krishna's service. Just like we're using this building for the service of Krishna. We saw last night so many people came for the program, so many young people chanting and dancing. They were all enjoying the holy name. They're getting some taste for the holy name. So we hope they will also take up Krishna consciousness seriously. Many people come and sing and dance and go off back into Maya, back with their drugs and so many things, yeah. But we want to give them real Krishna consciousness. We like to let them also hear the philosophy, speak some Krishna conscious katha, and let them get a taste for service. Our job is to engage people in Krishna's service. So many people come, they chant and dance, that's good. Let them also do some service. If they can take up some activities, do something for the service of Krishna, then that is positive. And that's how people come to Krishna consciousness, by doing service. Not so many people take up Krishna consciousness just based on knowledge. But if you give them some activity, make them feel wanted, we need you. There was this one group, they said, we need volunteers. And they got so many people come. People are there, they're looking for something to do. So we have a lot of engagement for people. We need to engage people in Krishna's service. And then we'll keep them out of Maya. Keep us out of Maya as well. Taking care of them, right? We have to take care of all these people. Keep them out of Maya. Okay, so my time is up. 8:15. You have to have your ISKCON. Any question? Any comment? Anyway, thank you very much for having me here. And we're happy to see the Krishna consciousness movement progressing nicely here. So many people coming forward. Very nice. So this is a big week. You have a big program today, and then on Friday again another big program. So a lot of preaching going on here. Very nice. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Narasimha Maharaj ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Jai, praise ki Jai.